This is Radio Free Cybertron, episode 804. I am Brian Kilby. With me this week, we have staring confused at his computer screen, Don Ferguson.
No, Bromeo posted that thing in our Discord chat, tfradio.net/Discord, about the bin saying that they before the year is out, shipping on Victory Saber.
Yeah, I saw that. It just doesn't look like that they want to do it. I just question whether or not they want to do it.
Remember, Ben McCrae, BMAC, is the marketing guy. So it's his intention and also his job to, make that sound like it's going to happen as smoothly and quickly as possible, but he's ultimately not in control of the logistics side of things that actually gets it done.
And that's Chris.
Hello.
And I don't know how they're organized, but typically, at least in the company I work for, which is a retail company, there's usually some cohesiveness between your merchandising, marketing, and logistics person over your specific category. So your marketing person's not the expert, but they should have an idea. But Hasbro's a product vendor, so all bets are off.
We've still got a little over a month and a half before the year's over as well. So I think we have plenty of time.
That's Matt. There's Diecast.
Hey, everybody.
And Rob.
Hi.
Yeah, cool. Okay. So, hey, it's a little over a month and a half until the end of the year. That means we're about a month and a half out till Christmas. And each year, we tell you guys about how, in all seriousness, you, pointing at you, all of you, everybody here, might be the only person out there who is able to, bring some joy to a child this holiday season. Plenty of kids out there are not going to get something for Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever, seasonal holiday you want to bring up, because they don't have anything. Parents can't afford it. They don't have parents. My kids were adopted. I worked at the children's home. I volunteered for a children's home. I myself was a exceedingly poor child. So, I just firsthand experience that a lot of kids they have very little. And sometimes the only thing they might get is going to be what's dropped in a drop box from Toys for Tots or, some other donation center. So, Elf on a Shelf Warmer is our attempt to put toys in the hands of kids and take stuff off the shelves that aren't selling. As we all know, shelf warming toys, we hate them. It's what you walk into a Walmart, in the chat, who was it? Was it a non-ETF at tfradio.net/Discord? Somebody here was saying that they walked into a Walmart that still had a dozen Studio Series 86 NAS on the shelf. And I think those are awesome. I would buy those for myself.
Yeah, it's remarkable. I haven't seen one in like a year.
I know.
Yeah, me neither.
But your store's not going to get stuff out on the shelf, new toys, unless they clear out the old stuff. So clear out the old toys, put toys in the hands of kids. Kids love toys. They're not picky. Some kids are. Most kids aren't, especially younger kids. They don't even know what they're playing with. They just know it's a toy and it brings joy to their heart. I have a 3-year-old. I know firsthand that, she's just as happy. Sometimes she'll play with a shoe. Sometimes she will play with a shoe. It doesn't matter like the cost. You don't want to give kids inexpensive, cheap things they'll break, but things that are a great value, like a clearance laser gun. You might be able to find one at Walmart for $10, $5, whatever it is. Kids will go crazy over just simple toys like that. Like we got our kid like a giant play set that she can park 100 cars on and all this stuff. But she would much rather have her $10 Walmart ray gun. She has adventures with that. So bring joy to a child's heart this year. Help them out. Drop something in a donation box. Snap a picture of it. Post it on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Hashtag Elf on a Shelf Warmer. We'll reshare it, like it, whatever. If you don't have a place to donate toys, you should most likely, but some people don't. Or some people just don't want to go through with that. You could always use our Amazon wish list at tfradio.net/elf. That's tfradio.net/elf. And what happens, you buy that, something there, inexpensive. It comes to me, and I'll drop it off for you. And if you're watching video, actually, I put up the tree. It's not really a tree. It's my Michael Myers animatronic thing from Halloween.
He's wearing lights. He's a tree.
He's a tree.
No,
That's how science works.
he's still he's a light up person with a Santa hat.
He's a
Mhm.
very merry Michael Myers.
Yeah, but if you're watching video, I'm focused on it right now. There's a lot of things that are there. Some of them have been donated by listeners or diecast in some cases. Sometimes it's things out of my personal collection. Like I had a sales list going on and things that were, worth, not when I say worth, but like new toys, still sealed, things that went unsold in my sale pile went in the Elf on a Shelf warmer donation pile. So there's lots of ways to help. It has to be, if you drop something off in Toys for Tots, it just needs to be sealed. So if you're sitting on a bunch of Powers of the Force 2 figures from Star Wars from years ago that are worth nothing and you want to do something with them, some kid would love those. If you have 100 of them, that would help out 100 kids. It's pretty awesome.
I
But
do have a bag of episode 1 figures.
yeah, no, seriously, kids would love that stuff. But like I said, the tfradio.net/elf wish list, we derive no commissions or anything off of that. It just comes to me and I'll drop it off. And we'll give you a plug on the show and on Twitter, hopefully Instagram if I think too. But tfradio.net/elf. I'm going to do a donation here probably in probably early December, whenever the boxes are out, or if I run out of space here. I do want to point out, if you're watching this, if you're looking at the video, one of the cool things I have in here is a Spider-Man bicycle. And I'll tell you how I acquired that. I bought my 6-year-old a Spider-Man bicycle for her birthday. They delivered 2. I tried to return it. I tried and they never got back with me. So after making a good faith effort to return that, they never got back with me. So it's going to go in the donation pile. So it's going to get donated to some kids. So there's a lot of ways. It doesn't have to be a clearance toy. It could be something out of your collection. It could be something that Amazon sends you 2 of and you try to return. They say keep it. There's just a lot of ways you can help out a kid. So that was a happy little accident. So, is it a video if nothing is moving? Rusted Cross asks.
Rusty, even if you can't see it, there's things moving in that picture because it is being captured at 24 or 30 or 60
I'm gonna
frames
throw
per
something.
second.
I'm gonna throw this nasal spray at the pile and hopefully won't knock anything over. See, there it goes. That's video. Now I have to
Did
get
that
my
actually
nasal-
make it in frame?
It made it in the frame, yeah.
Okay.
So cool. Okay. So there's that. One other thing I wanted to mention. It was last week's show or the week before. We were talking about the London Comic
Yeah, that was last week.
show. No, I mean London Comic Con. The Q&A, where it was reported that a member of the TF Wiki was consulted. Grantford W, the person, or Zaku Fan 0079 on Twitter, as the person who reported that. And he said, hey, it wasn't misreported. He's like, I just basically typed it wrong. And and it wasn't misreported. What he said was what he said. It was just funny that he was listening to the show. He's like, I just want to set the record straight. And I'm like, hey, I no ill will on my part. I just thought it was hilarious. He's like, yeah. So, just wanted to mention that. It was awesome that he's a listener. So, okay, that's it. As far as wait, anything else, guys, that we want to talk about, get into before? No, okay. Oh man, not a lot of great news this week.
Well, I mean, no, we do have plugs and the plugs bullet points.
Oh, that's news though. That's news. Let's talk about. Okay.
Mhm.
So as of 7:18 p.m. or 8:18 p.m.
No, 7:18 Eastern time.
Okay, well, I just checked it just a minute ago.
Okay.
Guys, I checked it a minute ago. Deathsaurus was at 6,084. Just refresh. Deathsaurus on the HasLab Deathsaurus is 6,082.
Oh, it's going down already.
I'm starting to fluctuating a little bit.
Well, it's still a net gain of 4 from when I looked earlier.
Yes, exactly. It's staggering the way there. But I checked it yesterday and it was at 6,024. So in a day, it's gained about 60.
Yeah, it'll pick up another batch probably when they get the color pictures up of the more detailed model.
Also, I think they may be taking pre-orders in Japan now.
Open their backing period, and it's starting to become available through various channels internationally. Otherwise, so
and all that'll
more
get added
rolling.
on. It'll all get added on. But my question is this: how aware are people of this? Because I hadn't even thought about that. That's how it worked with Unicron and with Star Saber, but not the most recent thing that we saw, which was the Engine of Vengeance, which it got to about this point, and then it just stagnated, and then it started dropping.
I don't even think it hit 6,000.
Well,
it did hit 6,000.
Oh, okay.
It was like, I think 6,100, somewhere around that range when they were trying to hit the early bird figure. And then as soon as that failed, numbers started dropping off.
Yeah.
Then it was like everyone's jumping on.
So I just wonder if, people are going to start to feel that this isn't going to fund and it'll start dropping.
I don't think it's a problem of not thinking it's going to fund. It's that, the Engine of Vengeance example is people back specifically to get that early bird figure. And when that was out the window, that point of interest was gone and they didn't.
As soon as you lost some,
as
soon as it lost some form of value, people didn't care anymore.
This feels closer to the Sky Striker, which took forever to get to the goal.
I can't remember how fast Star Saber backed either. I know we hit the stretch goals pretty quick once it funded.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Star Saber took a good couple of weeks at least.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see how this goes.
Again, once Japanese pre-orders start piling on,
I'm very confident that it will fund. It's just not encouraging the way that it's progressing right now.
I mean, it's still several hundred more than we had at this time last week.
Yeah.
And also the fact is you're still going to have a lot of middleman people taking orders that maybe that won't get reported until later on.
Yeah, that's what we're saying. Like all the international stuff is going to get added into the total in chunks later as this is going on. And again,
it happens every time with the Transformers HasLab.
And again, in a week or two, when they have, the color, more detailed model of Deathsaurus in hand and have had time to do the studio photos with it to add to the campaign page, and they can start publicizing with that, we're going to get more backers coming in directly through Pulse at that point too, just because there will be more to see.
Yeah.
It's still it's too late now for them to do it, but it would have been really nice if they had included like maybe us if they could have arranged it like a subtitled copy of like the first couple episodes of Victory.
They still could digitally.
We only have 2 stretch goals.
Well, that's true. They could always add a QR code to the box or an insert or something that would take you to. I'm just saying it'd be really great if they put like some kind of video or fiction so people can enjoy it as a package.
It would be even better if they include a couple episodes of the Omni dub of Victory.
I wish I was like Lucas and the holiday special where I could just gather up every one of those horrible dubs and just throw them in a fire.
No, the dubs are wonderful.
And the holiday special is still very readily available out there on the internet.
There's a very nice copy of it on YouTube.
Can I share my HasLab Deathsaurus sample that I got?
Yeah.
No.
It's pretty, it's colored and it looks great.
Okay, which third party
is that MMC?
It's the MMC one. Yeah, it came the day after Deathsaurus was announced, or maybe like it was right around that time. But yeah, I'm more excited about Deathsaurus than Star Saber.
Yeah, I mean, I am too.
Yeah.
And that doesn't look bad. I like that version that doesn't have like the weird wings that makes them not look like Deathsaurus.
Right. This is the G1 version, or what they call the G1 version.
And the other one is based on the IDW design, I think.
Yeah, IDW.
Yeah.
It's not bricky. It's not enough of a brick to be the G1 version.
The G1 detailed version, then.
I love Deathsaurus. Okay.
Pal says Deathsaurus is at 29,700 yen. Math.
Okay, that's about what, 230, something like that. What?
With the current exchange rate, it might even be a little bit lower than that. But yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not usually like direct parity. So this is pretty much what you would expect.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I mean, that I'm looking at that in American dollars. They're still looking at that in yen. So to them, 29,700 yen's 29,700 yen.
Right.
So, yeah. So,
but since all Transformer stuff is proportionately, more expensive in the local currency, they're used to those prices for this stuff. And I don't think they've undergone quite the same jumps of price point increases we have in the last little while. So, for them, it's not such a big ask as we would think of it as if we were thrown into the situation.
Cool. Okay. And also another news item, Earthspark showed up online.
It was an official YouTube upload, but
the first
region locked to
episode.
the UK. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm certain it's available elsewhere. I have not seen it yet. It debuts in the US this weekend on
Friday.
Friday on Paramount Plus.
And it's also going to air on Nick.
Are they dumping
Friday
the whole season on Paramount Plus?
I doubt it. It's probably going to be like Lower Decks or any of those. They're going to do.
Yeah, Paramount Plus doesn't do that. But I
Right.
saw it reported that it was going to be the whole season. I'm like, that doesn't sound right.
I mean, I don't know anything about. I haven't heard that information myself.
Prodigy is a more direct comparison, and Star Trek Prodigy is also weekly.
Yeah, just my point was just Paramount Plus. Everything I've seen them do, it's been one episode per week, like it's a normal broadcast cycle.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, so maybe we'll talk about it next week. Maybe something toward the end of the show. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
I guess it'll just depend, what each of us feels about it.
Yeah.
Whether it's worth talking about it or not.
Okay, so we talked quite a bit about Victory Saber just a minute ago.
No, Deathsaurus. We talked about Deathsaurus a minute ago.
We talked quite a bit about Victory Saber in our conversation about Deathsaurus. So, because we mentioned Victory Saber like 4 or 5 times throughout that. But Victory Saber is now in hand. Maybe we didn't talk. Maybe I'm confusing pre-show, but we definitely mentioned Victory Saber in that conversation. But Victory Saber we've got photos of it in hand, and the general consensus online is
Okay, so like the short version of this is that the sample that we have comprehensive coverage of, which apparently was sent out accidentally by Hasbro's Hong Kong fulfillment system, is a very, very terrible QC copy. And right now we don't have the data points to know whether this is an extreme outlier or if this is going to be representative of most of the run.
We know that there's stickers now.
2 stickers just for Victory Leo's wings.
Which, what in the original is painted.
The samples they had that painted, but everything on those samples would be painted theoretically because they're pre-production samples, like painted test shots and things. We don't know at this point. The factory themselves, as the production ramped up, might have made the change from paint apps to stickers for the full detailing for whatever reason. Sometimes factories do override those decisions for reasons unknown to anyone but themselves. It's uncommon, if not unheard of, in Transformers, aside from like BotCon toys, where the factories have had to edit the designs that the BotCon people submitted to actually work with the toys they wanted to work with. But for something like from the ground up like this, like I can't think of another example where we've heard of the factory overriding a decision by the designers.
The paint on the Brain Masters, it hurts me.
There's a lot of paint slop on this copy. Some minor, some less minor. One of the interesting things I found in this coverage, the slots on the Saber component where you plug the nose cone or sword in for vehicle mode, one of the holes is not a hole, it's filled in.
Oh.
Now that's probably just like extreme case of mold flash that didn't get cleaned out, blocking that up, and digging a hole is not that hard.
No,
but-
X-Acto knife will fix that.
Yeah, but how clean is it going to be?
Not very. There's also a photo somewhere in the forum post of an internal channel where the ends are kind of gnarled looking. And then there's the big thing, which is one of Victory Leo's leg joints. Apparently this copy has one ratchet possibly missing entirely, and the other one is just like extremely damaged out of the box.
Ooh.
Yeah. So just as a reminder, this is not even like a production sample. This is a
Yeah, this is from the production run.
This is from the production run, and so it's not a sample. So, I mean, either it's just really bad luck. It's just really bad luck. And I use that luck. Okay, just quick quality thing. So the whole point about quality is making sure that you minimize variability between the different units that get sold. You want to make sure that they are consistent quality. But there's a probability, or at least there is a statistical amount of errors like the mold flash and stuff that Chris mentioned. So you try to minimize that variability, make sure that you have good consistent quality. So either it's just really bad luck that this is the one that went out first and got photographed, or
And speaking of probability, what are the odds that this is the one that got out first
Right.
yeah,
that everyone sees?
yeah.
Now, I mean, I've heard of different sources within the international community suggesting that product earmarked for the Asian endpoints has an odd tendency to be lower QC quality than the equivalents that these people see from like the US and Europe. I have
would
no idea
that
if there's
be?
any truth to that.
I would hope there wouldn't be.
I would hope there wouldn't. I would hope there wouldn't be too. I'm not saying there's veracity to this, but like, if these observations from these people are consistent, like there may be, maybe just there's more bad stock going out in that area than there would be other places. This is again, it's anecdotal observations I've heard, but I've also seen bits and pieces of it that seem like, well, maybe there's something to this a little bit. Because like I've gotten like Asian retail release copies of certain toys in the last several years, and then gotten ones released through, say, Amazon here, and there is often a noticeable difference in the QC quality between those samples.
I mean,
So, I would hope that something this extreme does not fall under that, but I'm addressing the possibility that there may be a higher chance that something coming from Hasbro's Hong Kong or other Southeast Asian offices, the likelihood might be a little bit higher than if it was somewhere else.
so in just digging into that just a little bit, I'm assuming that these all came from the same run. So it's not like they had a run that they just either were less. I mean, it could be that they just didn't like pull as many defects out. It's possible.
Mhm.
Or it could be the fact in technology. I know there's something called binning, which is where you take you go and you test the sample like a processor, and the better sample gets a higher rating and it gets a higher cost, and you basically segregate higher quality samples versus lower quality samples, and you sell them at different price points or different markets or whatever.
Mhm.
I would hope that it would be that they're just doing less quality checks more so than they're intentionally giving inferior product to that market.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea, but it could be potentially either one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
having serious reservations about Victory Saber at this point, and the iffiness I was already having on backing Deathsaurus has not been helped today.
maybe I'll cancel one of my Deathsauruses. Yeah.
You know,
There's the other thing too, which we were talking about during pre-show specifically, which is, we're waiting for Victory Saber. We're waiting for signs of Victory Saber shipping out to backers anywhere. The one that got out for these photos was not supposed to have been shipped out. That was a mistake made by Hasbro's Hong Kong distribution or offices or what have you. But like, we don't have any concrete sign of these being inbound to the recipients yet. And like I think Diecast was observing, usually with the HasLab stuff, there's like a month's advance warning if you need to update your address or anything.
Yeah, at least a couple of weeks.
Yeah, and nothing along that line's been heard yet. And if they want to get this stuff out to people before the Deathsaurus backing period ends, they kind of need to get going on that real quick, because 33 days, if 2 or 3 weeks for the address updates and then trying to get all that stuff out, like, it's going to be tight getting that before Deathsaurus is just over with.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know. We know that the design team does listen to a lot of the fan channels, and they're aware of podcasts and everything else. So they may want to consider getting out in front of this and addressing it to allay anybody's concerns. Just,
maybe, or if it's real, they just ignore it and pretend that it doesn't exist.
They're not going to say anything.
Yeah,
I know. Well, I'm just saying they at least need to be aware of it, and that this could have
I'm sure they're aware of a great deal.
Yeah, this could have a detrimental effect against the Deathsaurus.
You know what? I don't mean to be funny here, but I can imagine like Mark, Evan, Ben, and all those guys like in an office, like BotCon style, like looking at each one and like taking an X-Acto and like cutting out the thing and then putting it back in the box. Maybe and touching up the paint before it all goes out. That would be hilarious. Okay, so Rise of the Beasts Deluxe Airazor in hand. I think it looks pretty good.
That's pretty cool looking.
Yeah, I'm tempted to buy two so I can send one to Matt so he can have one too.
I don't love it.
That's the perfect crossover of a Beast toy and a movie toy.
Yeah, I don't love it, but I think I like it better than the way that in hand I probably won't, but I think I like the look of it better than Kingdom Airazor, which I thought
a lot of people are saying that actually.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd go that far, but I think it looks really good.
No, I mean, Kingdom Airazor is great in hand.
Okay,
but the look of it it's a little too much like the original.
I think for me, this is kind of like being extremely qualifier, but for a Bay universe inspired Beast figure, I think it looks pretty damn good considering what we've got before.
Well, this has a normal face too, so, or semi-normal.
Yeah, it's a post-Bay world, so we don't really. I mean, we have a sample of one when it comes to that, so we don't really know what that means.
I mean, this is kind of what they should have did on the first movie.
Yes, you're right. That is exactly what they should have done. But they made ungodly amounts of money, so
yeah,
who knows? But to satisfy me personally, yes, this is what they should have done with the first movie.
Well, it's the same conversation we had when the Bumblebee movie came out. We said this is what the first Transformers movie should have been, and no, it shouldn't have. It wouldn't have made the billions of dollars. No, this is good for where we're at in this process now. I really like the way this looks. I'll probably get one on clearance. Because I think it looks cool, but I don't know if anything can top Kingdom Airazor for me in execution.
Yeah, she's a great figure.
This is doing a lot of different things, and the closest thing, I think one of the photos in here too is a comparison that includes it. The closest seems to be Energon Dive Bomb.
Okay, yeah, I can
how
see
this works.
I can see that.
and I really like Energon Dive Bomb. I think I will like this toy when I
Fantastic
get it.
figure.
I just don't feel like I want to immediately go spend $25 on it when it comes out.
So Blade said this on Twitter yesterday, and he reinforced this in our Discord because I remember his tweet. He said, "I already decided Rise of the Beast doesn't count toward my Beast Wars collection, but that won't stop him from buying them all if they look as good as Airazor."
Yeah, and I saw that too, and I think now this could just be me, but I believe it's how the figures look together once we start seeing more of the aesthetic across the line. Because a lot of people they want that core season 1 Beast Wars group, or they want the season 2, whatever the case may be, and how they look together, I think will influence a lot of people as well.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I want an Optimus Primal who's looking for his bananas, and I want Airazor to be a boy.
What I would really like to see, this Airazor has a lot of good like sculpting detail. You can tell in the photos, but I would like to see this just like get some dry brushing and some detail painting to really bring all of that out.
Yeah.
Like, I think there's a lot of untapped design work on this that could really like make this on a new level.
I want Tigatron to hold little boy Airazor's hand awkwardly.
I mean,
I'm sorry, I'm just going down the Japanese Beast Wars dub translation. Sorry for people who wonder what in the hell I'm talking about.
I mean, it's like Jaxus could have really used a paint wash or something to try to bring out some of that detail in that really bright white plastic, and it's the same thing with this darker yellowish gold color on Airazor, that there needs to be something there to get some of those details out, or you've got all this sculpting that you can't really see.
I mean, it's better in the brown and mustard plastics than it would be if it was white.
Yeah.
Just, there's a lot there that if you wanted to pick out little details and stuff and just like really, upsell this a little bit, like you could do a lot with this mold.
So like, I'm not even saying this to be funny, but like when this does get translated into Japanese, and it'll be translated into Japanese to begin with, and it's localized, there's like a 0% chance that they'll insert the bananas joke. But if we find out by way of Japanese Transformers Twitter that they do, that will be like a whole nother level of respect that I have for this movie. If Optimus Primal's looking for his bananas, and that becomes like a running gag throughout the movie. Sorry, I'm just stuck on that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like how this looks, and if this ends up being like typical of the design style for this toy line and the movie, I think I'm going to be pretty happy with this line in general.
Yeah. Cool.
It's a good first start.
It is a first good start. Let's see here. Holiday Optimus Prime behind the scenes from Mark. It looks nice.
I gotta ask, what did you guys think of this? Because I love it.
I want it.
And
I love it.
I ordered one.
I pre-ordered. I can't wait to see if they go the Hero Optimus paint job as a repaint, or if they're going, because a lot of people have said this could be a lot of different things.
It will be a lot of different things, so they can get their money back on it.
Right.
Well, it's not going to be too many different things because they have to pay Volvo licensing for the vehicle every time they use it.
That's true. Well,
so like it'll probably be one more thing.
But I mean, with it being Optimus, there's a better chance of doing more Optimi in different colors. And even though they're paying for each use, with it being Optimus, they would sell more than if it was another character.
I mean, to what Chris said though, as long as they include that markup in the cost for each run, they can still redo it, unless depending on what their contract with Volvo says.
And I understand what you're saying, Don. You're right. But did anyone mention that there's rumors that this mold at least was the canceled?
It was
Amazon Optimus Prime.
It was.
Is there any chance that we can still get that?
It seems to be very unlikely at this point.
I wonder what kind of held that whole thing up.
Oh, it didn't get to the point of production, so it could have been anything.
Well, I mean, it definitely got as far as like molds being produced for it, and then, my guess would be Amazon decided they didn't want it anymore.
So this was announced and just unveiled like a month before it's going to be in people's hands. it is conceivable. It's conceivable that like there could have been a run of that Amazon Optimus and they were all destroyed or something. I'm not saying it happened, but I'm saying it is conceivable that it could have happened.
Well, it happened to Revenge of the Jedi.
What was it? What was produced on for that?
Yeah, Kenner made based on Lucas's information given to them.
Mhm.
They put the entire first wave on Revenge
of the Jedi cards.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
And then they wound up when Lucas changed it to Return of the Jedi. They had tons of product that was destroyed that they couldn't sell because it was all branded wrong.
That sucks. I had no idea.
If any of that stuff got out, I bet you that's worth some money.
Yeah, of
There's
course.
a
Well, now-
handful, I believe.
Yeah, it's from what I've heard through the years, very little, unless it was production samples, stuff people took home and wound up being, stuff like that. We've heard of that before, but from what I understand, none of the Revenge of the Jedi stuff made it to actual. It didn't get out the factory.
Didn't get it to the actual retail supply chain. Okay, last thing in the news: Stretch Armstrong Transformers Stretch Bumblebee figure. Yeah.
Holy.
Yeah.
wonder
I
if those
haven't
are
heard
still
about
filled with
this.
corn syrup.
Is that what's in Stretch Armstrong?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I had not heard anything about this.
So far it appears to only be marketed in the UK.
So is this a Hasbro produced or is this a licensed toy?
Licensed, I'm almost
Okay.
positive.
I doubt Hasbro even produces their own Stretch Armstrongs anymore. They probably just license it out.
Yeah, I mean, we could potentially see a lot of this because on their because of the new CEO and everything.
It's free money.
They really want to
Yeah.
focus on licensing, so they probably means reducing costs to license things out, and in turn you get a lot more people paying for the license.
And I mean, Hasbro certainly has not been shy about giving out Transformers licenses over the last
Of course,
several
yeah.
years anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So I think we could see a lot of more crazy stuff like this, which actually I'm kind of excited about.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I am too, but I don't want to see I don't want to go back to the days of when Transformers was on everything, and some of it was just crap and stupid.
Why
and
not, Don?
well, because it kind of
That's the case
You,
right
you
now.
don't have to buy it.
no. It's not a question of the money. It's just a question of will it dilute the image of the brand if it's
No,
on a
fair-
bunch of crap.
Fair question, Don.
Yeah.
That's an entirely reasonable question and point, and it could, and it will, and it does. But like, if they're hurting for money, gimme. That's sort of
Yeah.
like where they're at. gimme.
It just seems like up to the point you guys say okay, but it's like we have a bunch of crap out there with our logo on it. Is that going to come back and haunt us as back on our main product? That's just
Yeah.
what I was
Oh,
saying.
you're right. Yeah, totally true.
I would just love to walk in a store and almost everything is Transformers. Be like, I'd
turn
be
turn
happy.
around and just pretend you're in a store.
Yeah. Well, it's we make our
Well, no,
own.
but he doesn't want like just toys. He wants like Transformers tableware, Transformers shoes. I mean, there are Transformers shoes, but he wants more Transformers shoes.
Yeah.
Party supplies, Transformers zucchini.
Well, also you have to look at some extreme examples. I'm sure this won't happen, but like in Japan, there was a Sailor Moon pregnancy test. I mean, you got to stop a line somewhere.
Okay, let's stop at that line right there and go to what we got this week.
Yeah, because
Um,
if we didn't stop there, I have an even worse example than what Don just brought up.
Yeah, so who wants to go first? Did anybody besides me get anything?
I'll
I
go.
did.
Go ahead, Don. Don.
Okay, yeah, I don't have a whole lot. A couple of just random things. I don't know if we'll keep them or not, but I just decided to get Xamot and Tomax. I found them both on the shelf at the same time,
I haven't
nice.
opened mine yet.
and I thought if I just seen one or the other, I wouldn't have cared. But I do have that new the Wave 1 Cobra Commander, and I thought that may look pretty good. So I may keep them, I may not.
I did open my Sergeant Slaughter, and it is my favorite toy ever.
I have actually Christy had the coupon for the 25% off at Target, one toy or item. and it runs out. And I was looking through the stuff, and I found one of the Batman McFarlane rooftop diorama set.
Hmm.
And
So what's in that, Don, other than Batman? I can't really tell from your video.
Well, I assume a rooftop diorama.
Ooh, there's a light.
I
didn't know that existed.
It's the lightning. I think
From
Chris
the beginning
talked
of the opening credits. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Chris talked about this a while back about something about the figure. I know you mentioned something about it, but yeah, it's basically to recreate the opening lightning flash with him on the rooftop.
You're muted, Don. Simple mechanical switch.
Sorry, I'm sorry. So I used Christy's coupon for this. I've still got mine.
I bet she appreciated that.
Well, she didn't have anything. She did. I asked her. She wasn't nothing she wanted to get. So I picked that up. It was like $31 after the coupon. The figures by the Batman figures like by themselves are like 19 to 29. So why not?
Yeah.
I also picked up something else while I was at Target. You know, I'm not a big Star Wars fan. I really buy very little Star Wars anymore because I don't care. But I saw this today. The 6-inch Droids Boba Fett.
Oh, nice.
I kind of had to get that just because that is such an outrageous look for Boba Fett. And again, I love the packaging. I don't care about droids. It was a horrible cartoon, but it's kind of a nifty thing. Last thing I got, let me just show this off real quick. I mentioned this a few weeks ago, but didn't have it. That's the Baroness that I picked up. Brian, you were talking about the, now that you mentioned it.
I hate the card.
Yeah, it's really, really light and flimsy. I didn't realize that till but I like the figure. I wanted to get her. But the thing, also one more thing, sorry. The other half of my GameStop order came in, and I got my Diamond Select Iron Man statue.
Is he playing football? What is that?
Well, there's a repulsor blast that's supposed to be that's sculpted in that was supposed to be attached, and it broke in transit. So I got to glue it back on. But it's him firing a repulsor blast, and it's in that neo-classic red and gold.
Love that armor.
Yeah,
that is a good armor.
Yeah,
that specific variation of it with the Mega Man boots. I love that armor.
Yeah, so I got this and that Obadiah Stane Ironmonger set after, because I got that Yu-Gi-Oh! Dual Disc, and then it went on sale, and I got my $25 back. So I got this and the Ironmonger set for like $40 after the thing. But the last thing I got was a toy that I never expected to see the light of day. This thing was solicited almost 2 years ago, and it is from, of all companies, Make Toys. Make Toys.
They still exist. I'm saying in all seriousness.
I just got a bunch of exclusives from them from TFCon.
It is the HMS Warspite,
which is Toy World.
When I say toy, I said Make Toys. I'm sorry. I apologize. I was being all dramatic and I got my companies mixed up. Toy World. Toy World. Sorry. Thank you, Diecast. I'm sorry. Toy World, HMS Warspite, aka World War II movie Jetfire, as a battleship.
What do you think of it? It looks pretty nice.
Oh, I mean, the detailing, the weathering, it's got panel lines, of course, but everything is tight. There's like no kibble, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. The turns are individually adjustable. The guns themselves are individually targetable. It's just absolutely gorgeous.
Wow. Yeah, if you just told me it was a submarine model or a battleship model, I would totally believe you.
You have to turn it over to be a submarine. Like,
yeah.
Sorry,
but I mean, and in here is a movie Jetfire. So really looking forward to opening up this guy. He's supposed to be able to combine with Optimus, the regular Studio Series Optimus. I'm not sure how, and I'm not going to try. But yeah, just absolutely. And he's still available the last time I checked. Just an absolutely stunning. I mean, I'm tempted to leave him in battleship mode.
It's very, very, very nice.
Looks really good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, and again, I am surprised because I pre-ordered this thing from Show Z about 2 years ago, and it finally shipped about a month and a half while I was on my honeymoon.
Cool.
And that's it for me.
It's kind of funny that your transforming boat shipped while you were on your cruise.
That's funny.
Hey, it's good.
Cool. Okay, who wants diecast? You can go next.
Yeah, I'll go. I got a really nice key
Oh, nice.
that came with
It's a planet key,
red-
right?
What's that?
It's a planet key.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
Cyber
Cyber power.
key.
Oh, yeah.
it is a Corvette key. So my car finally came in.
What's its name? What did you name it?
Don't have a name yet. I almost want to call it Sideswipe just because it's red and black.
I don't know.
That's
That seems
That's
asking-
an unfortunate name for a
Yeah,
car.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
especially a Corvette where one good impact will just shatter the whole body shell.
Yeah. What about like Reboost? It's red, and you know.
Well, no, you would do like Road Rage because that's a red Corvette.
Yeah. But then Road Rage is bad, but that'd be an interesting license plate to put on it.
Yeah.
I don't know if people would stay away or not.
Well, a Fenty red car with a license plate road rage, you would probably know every police officer in your hometown by name.
Yeah, there he goes again. Stay away from that guy. Yeah, but that was awesome. I mean, it was one of those things like I checked Friday when I was in Las Vegas and the car still said delayed. And I was like, I'll probably be here in a week or two. And then I slept all weekend because of being away at Vegas. And then Monday I got up to do work and I was like, let me check, see if, it says if it's ready to be shipped or anything like that. And it said shipped. So I called the dealer because I know it takes like 2 days to get to the dealer. And they're like, yeah, I came here Saturday. And I was like, oh, okay. So I had to run around like Tuesday to try and get the check from the loan company and everything to go pick up the car. And it was just as soon as I got that, I had to drive like 30 miles away to actually get a physical check so I could take it to the dealer to give it to them. And then the dealer is about an hour and a half away from me in Atlantic City, New Jersey. So it was quite an adventure yesterday. But definitely well worth it.
Awesome. It looks great.
Then this came in the mail today. This is it Crosshairs? I forget his.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cross.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Wow.
I thought you loved him.
I do like Crosshairs.
Where did you get him from?
Amazon. Like he shipped all of a sudden. None of the other Wave Made shipped or anything. I remember I really liked this in the promo photos. And to be fair, I haven't transformed it yet. But this was just kind of chilling in the box, which is basically the whole half of the top half of the car. And the wing was actually disconnected from it. So I'm assuming this plugs on somewhere and it's supposed to stay on the car at all times. But I haven't figured out where yet. And I don't know, in hand, like I remember being excited for it. And now I got it and I'm like, it kind of looks like a mess. But I'm going to save my, full critique till after I have time to mess around with him and transform him and figure out where all these parts are supposed to go.
If I remember right, Sam Smith on his Instagram post about that wave of toys was basically presenting it like it's intentional that you can take the roof plate off of Crosshairs to make the robot mode look more streamlined, movie accurate, but it should be able to stay on normally if you want to just have it on there like a real transformer.
Yeah.
Oh, so he got our
Exactly.
seed is what happened.
Kinda, yeah.
So that's all I brought down. Man, I got a lot of stuff. I got the Alpha Trion with the Rhine packs 2-pack. some of this stuff you guys might have talked about last week. I got the second Masterpiece train bot with a bonus
Getsui.
Masterpiece train bot because Hasbro Pulse sent me 2.
I heard about that.
Oh, Toys for Tots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give that to a
No.
child. What's wrong with you?
I'm just that evil.
So
You should give it away like to bump up your Instagram numbers or something.
Yeah. Kid would probably cry. He'd
could
open
choke
it
you.
and it would
Like it would not be
break.
fair to give to a
Uh-huh.
kid.
Yeah, no, do not.
God, there's so much stuff that I got. But yeah, those were the main things.
Did you go over your were you here post TFCon? Did you go over your TFCon haul?
Yeah, he was here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there's just so much stuff.
It's painful.
shipping.
It's painful.
Yeah. I just keep getting notifications like every day.
And apparently, Pulse is getting ready to ship out Legacy, Armada Starscream, and Inferno.
I just pre-ordered Inferno to get in on that.
And Studio Series 86 Ironhide too, I think.
Okay,
well.
I thought I was forgetting one.
Yeah.
I got Ironhide from Amazon. That did come. I didn't open that yet either.
Cool.
Yeah, there's just been so much stuff.
Let's go next.
I
Rob?
guess I will.
Okay.
Okay, just trying to pull it up from memory because I got a decent stack of things. First off, I got the latest volume of Dragon Quest Adventures of Dai that showed up yesterday. Seems like the first major group of story arcs is winding down in this one. It's well behind the TV series, which just ended in Japan, I believe. So, but it's enjoyable, and I'll probably stick with that all the way through if I can. I also got I got some more Gundam models. I got the high grade Gundam X Divider, which is
Ooh.
yeah, I've been that came back in stock and I kind of just had to go for it immediately. Just to justify the shipping a little more, I also grabbed some entry grade Strike Gundams for the Alpha on the Shelf Warmer pile. So
Nice.
yeah, so but yeah, I haven't put it together yet, but I opened it and took a look right after I finished the Rizel. And of course, stuff from that particular part of the Universal Century is large by the scale standard for the Universal Century. And things from other series like Gundam X tend to be to a slightly smaller scale because they were designed originally in the 90s when plastic was a little bit more expensive than, the 80s stuff. So yeah, it just looked really kind of weirdly small after putting something like that together, but I'm sure it'll be fine when I go back to it. I also wound up with the high grade Jim Striker because I pre-ordered that from Big Bad Toy Store like ages ago, and it ran out. It finally got in stock. I was hoping to wait to ship it till something else came in stock in my pile of loot. Did not happen, so I got Legacy Crankcase to go with that. And that's not a bad toy. I feel like the about the only thing I don't like about it is that it has like some of the things I didn't like about the Legacy Skids mold, and then it adds a couple other issues of its own. Primarily, the chest just doesn't lock down as well as Skids does. That's kind of an issue. Other than that, there's just the way you compress the lower legs, which just always it's another one of those figures that always feels like the alternate mode is under tension, and that is just a feeling that kind of bugs me. It just like when you compress it to where it actually looks like a car, it kind of feels like it wants to explode a little bit, and that just I've never been too comfortable with that, and it happens a lot in car robots anymore, it seems like. But other than that, it's not bad. And man, my memory's so bad I forgot he was one of the scavengers, so I probably would have wanted to grab him anyway. So it definitely worked out in the end, and I think that is everything I have gotten this week.
Cool. Okay, I'll run through mine really quick. Got Ironhide, Studio Series 86.
Did you transform it?
No. I I'm not crazy about it in robot mode.
Uh-huh.
And like, it's a little weird. It's a little floppy, and like some of the joints aren't the tightest. And like looking at those legs, it's kind of like a throwback to something from several years back that I just didn't care for. I'm trying to place what it reminds me of.
Ness, I think, in the Discord of last week was saying it reminded him of Universe Ironhide in certain ways.
Yeah, I can see that. That's not a good comparison.
No.
It's not. Like
No.
I could see somebody looking at it and liking it, but I don't have warm fuzzies from it, especially at the price point.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I've got it, and I was going to get it, but if I wasn't somebody who bought all this stuff, it'd probably be a pass. So I said that I would get in I got all the bots Series 6 last week, and I said I would open and give my thoughts. Didn't have a chance. I literally just opened this during pre-show. The Ruckus Rally, the pasta, I don't know, but the pizza car. There's the pizza car in the controller. I ended up getting 2 sets of this. One will go into the Elf on the Shelf warmer because I ordered from a retailer that got it in 3 weeks ago, and I still haven't received it from them yet. Amazon got it in stock and got it to me like the next day, like last week.
Whoops.
Yeah. Still,
That actually transforms, right?
Well, I mean,
sorta.
in a sense, the wheels flip up to become pepperoni, and the cannon flips back to become part of the crust, and then you have a slice of pizza.
I don't know if the cannon even. The
Does
cannon's-
it not? It looks like it should.
Yeah, I had to pop it out. And it's
Hmm.
yeah,
Hmm.
like you basically have to pop it out. It's a parts former, effectively. And well, maybe it's not. It was. I had to pop it out to transform it. Maybe no. Yeah, you've got to do that. So it is a. Yeah, it's a parts former. So it's not good. It sucks. It is crap. It is unmitigated crap.
Maybe the other one would be better. The game controller
Yeah.
spaceship thing.
Let's see here. How much was this one even? I think I had.
$15 or $20, I think, before shipping.
Let's see here. Ruckus. It was how much did I pay for the set? Between the two, I paid $44.82 for both. It's garbage. It's not.
Whoops.
It's garbage. It sucks. I'm
That's
sorry.
a shame.
I love bots.
And the
And-
concept is great, but
Yeah, it's not good. So, let's see here. A couple other things. I got this from Dorkside Toys. Somebody on our Discord posted this like a couple weeks ago. The Masterpiece Optimus Intensig base for $30. I had skipped it originally, but for $30, I'll get it.
Yeah, I went looking for that after the link was posted, but it was already sold out.
I'm
The listing
sorry.
deactivated.
I'm sorry, I got the last one.
I probably didn't need it, but like I like the way that Optimus looks.
I hate myself for liking it. It's such a stupid toy.
The thing is, like, to really like it, I would have wanted the eyes to be yellow, and I know they're not.
They're not. They're blue.
So, it's just as well that I was not able to catch that while it was in stock.
Yeah.
I'm just making conversation to try to prolong the show a little bit because we're running a little short this week.
No, we're right at an hour, and I've got something to do anyway, so it's good. It's good. So I got catching up on some stuff that I have been needing with the yen being so damn low right now. I got MP13B Rat Bat, and it came with a Sound Blaster.
Nice.
So I had skipped this before because, I mean, I love Sound Blaster, but I mean, it's a black sound wave, and it was originally too expensive.
No.
No.
It's a new sound wave.
It's a new sound wave. Plus, he has extra parts. He has new parts. He took sound wave's parts and then new parts, and he's new sound wave. It's literally new sound wave. Because it does
See,
have new parts.
I just made you love that toy.
Yeah, so he does have the expanded chest, which is new parts. Oh God. But it came with a Rat Bat, and it was cheap enough with the discount that I got it.
See, I was lucky. A very kindly listener a couple of years ago gifted me a high quality bootleg Masterpiece Rat
Nice.
Bat, so I was able to get the important part without having to get
Yeah, I remember that. I
a
remember
whole
that.
extraneous new sound wave.
Yeah.
Thank you again, listener who I recall wanted to remain anonymous at the time, but I happen to know is listening right now.
Cool. So Diecast actually got this during TFCon, and I was pretty sure that I already have it. I think I do, but it was so cheap that I got a second one. And if I don't have a second one, I at least now have one, which is the Henkei Megatron.
Oh, yeah.
So I've got-
nice.
So I was looking through my stuff to find it, and I can't find it. All I could find was the Hasbro version, or the original classics and the platinum versions, which I have both of.
Do you have the Transformers United version?
Actually, maybe am I confusing the two? This is the Henkei, right?
No, the Henkei has the chrome. The United one is a third deco of it with no chrome. It's a little bit more accurate.
I don't know. It's one of those
Yeah,
things.
Kind of want to get one of the United ones.
I have one somewhere. The paint on it was
Same.
slightly damaged, but not like terribly. Haymaker was able to touch it up acceptably for me at one point.
Oh, nice.
But like up until the point that we got like the War for Cybertron trilogy ones, like it was pretty much the best modernized G1 Megatron toy.
That might be the one I have. I need to go back and look. If I do, I think it's loose, and all my loose stuff is in that room back there, in bins. So I was only looking through my boxed stuff. Maybe I have it. I don't know. I really don't. I don't have a listing of crap that I have. So, but actually, you mentioned Chrome and something else. This is something I knew I have, but I didn't. I don't have it in this variation. It is a Godbomber G1. So,
Oh, nice.
so
well, nice for a certain value.
Nice for a
Nice.
cer-
I
yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
So the reason I got it is I have a vintage Godbomber boxed and a vintage Super Genrai boxed, but I needed Godbomber to go with my Super Genrai. So now I have a boxed Godbomber to go with my boxed Super Genrai. So I know that's stupid, but I wanted it. And
But I
Don,
get it.
it's not that much more expensive than what you paid for it 20 years ago.
Well, at least you bought it knowing what you were getting,
Yeah, I
And
mean, it's like my fourth Godbomber.
and not me buying it off of the catalog from Master Force and going by the prototype that was in there, and then
Yeah.
getting that from Tony Prito, and having to call California long distance and talk to Tony and said, Mr. Prito, this isn't what I bought. And then Tony told me the story of the prototype Godbomber.
Yeah. But so it's funny. It's funny. This is in much better shape than my reissue Godbomber, which my reissue Godbomber ended up getting some sort of dust on it that ended up destroying the chrome.
huh.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but it was some sort of particulate matter, and it eradicated the chrome. I used the chrome pen to refresh it, and it got it like 95% of the way there. But you can see like some inconsistency in like the finish
Mhm.
from the chrome pen. But like considering that it was like almost a complete redo of it, it did a pretty darn good job.
Yeah.
So, and that's all I got. That's all I got this week, not counting like Sergeant Slaughter, which is the most amazing toy ever. So,
Where'd you
well.
get him from?
Pulse.
Okay.
I love it. I
An
I ordered
ETF
him from Pulse, but
Anani TF just mentioned Discord.
Yep.
Lego Optimus recently turned up at Walmart for $170.
Yeah, Kim was looking at toys for me a couple nights ago and said that they'd had it at Walmart, and I'm like, oh, awesome! I don't need it. I already have it. But yeah, it's definitely there. Okay, I want to thank our friends at patreon.com/tfradio, our touched patrons. We thank you guys every week. You go to patreon.com/tfradio to sign up. You can see the list of the folks at the touched tier at tfradio.net/credits, which is what I'm looking at right now. Kevin Dorsey, Ryan Bona, Emmett Stresovich, Rabbits, Hector Bones, Ness, Joey Russell, Jay Klein Rye, Sean Hamilton. And Sean, thank you for the election coverage. Don, I'm sorry that you lost to G2 Grimlock.
I've not going to call for a recount or stuff like that. It happens. Let's just hope everybody's faith is not misplaced.
So
you had my vote, Don.
So I meant to tweet this out. But Sean, if you can tweet at me or something, because I will forget, I'll retweet you from the RFC account and my personal account with what you exactly need. But we're coming up on the Thanksgiving parade for Dawn of the Day this year, and he wants to have background characters. So if somebody could go outside and get a photograph of themselves, like looking up or looking like standing in front of a car, or like they're looking at balloons, he will draw you into the parade this year on Twitter. So just look for Don Boy on Twitter and connect with him, send him a photo, and he will put you in the parade. So Jacob Owen Lucia, Sean Bratton, Spider Bob, Tyrell Gwen, Rick Mahurin, Blake Reynolds, Jason Tate, Eric Griffin, Sean I. Williamson, and AJ. Thank you all so much. You guys rock. If you want to be a patron of the Touch tier, you can be, or any tier. Go to patreon.com/tfradio. We have podcasts that are exclusive to our Patreon, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You can, of course, we have our Amazon wish list, of course, at tfradio.net/Amazon. It's very helpful, helps us out.
Well, it's not our wish list, it's our affiliate link.
Yes, we also have our affiliate link at tfradio.net/Amazon. I'm used to saying wish list.
But if you're wanting a worthy wish list to go and peruse off of that will go to a good cause, tfradio.net/elf for Elf on a Shelf Warmer. If you have no local options, Brian will facilitate you donating to children in need.
Absolutely, but that does not help us when it comes to referral fees.
It does not, but it helps the kids.
Helps the kids. But if you use tfradio.net/Amazon, that does help us out. So yes, please do.
Those are separate things.
You can find us on our website at tfradio.net. You can find us on YouTube at youtube.com/ I think it's /Radio Free Cybertron, I think is what we are. We just got that handle. It's their new handle system. I don't know. We're still on Twitter at TFRadio. Now, if Twitter goes away, Twitter's not really going away, but Twitter is going through a transition. Depending on how it turns out toward the end, we might, start, doing other things. We have our Instagram at TF Podcast, and I've been trying to use that more. But we'll probably lean more into Instagram if that's the case. But Twitter is typically the best way to reach us or connect with us, which is at TF Radio on Twitter. I'm personally on Twitter at bkilby and on Instagram at Brian Kilby. I've been posting some podcast stuff for my Happy Day podcast, Happy Daily, at briankilby.com. And I'm working on my Christmas album right now. Really hope to have it out in the next, the first week of December. We'll see. It's that time of year, and it's always just a rush getting that out. So, and let's see here. John DeLuna not here. He's at that John D everywhere. Rob Springer is not here. He is at zonebase.org and RoboRobSpringer on Twitter. Donald, how do people get a hold of you?
I can be reached on Twitter at HMRC, the number 4 EVR.
Cool. Diecast.
I can be reached at Don's place because I found out that he has
a guest room,
guest bedroom. You can also follow me on
We'll
Twitter.
be busy that weekend.
I'll just get show up.
Well, then it's an intruder bedroom, not a guest bedroom.
You can follow me on Twitter at Diecast2. You can like my Facebook page at Reviews by Diecast, and you can see my reviews at youtube.com/RFC or tfradio.net/reviews.
Cool. Chris.
I just want to point out MRP73 said if Twitter or Instagram doesn't work, just write a polite letter to RFC. Take a few minutes.
Bravo.
For more examples of that humor, you can come to our our Discord channel, tfradio.net/Discord, which is really the best place to find me. Come there, hang out with us. If you want to get me directly, just come in and tag me in a message, and I'll see it sooner than I will if you don't tag me in the message.
Yeah, so it is the best way to get intimate access with us, because
I don't like that phrasing, but yes.
I haven't been in there the last couple of days because I've just been so busy with work and everything. But I try to be in lately. I've tried to be in all day. So if you want to connect with us, that's probably the best way to do it. tfradio.net/Discord.
Yeah, that's going to be the most consistent way to find me, at least.
Yeah,
that's pretty much what I'm going with at this point. Otherwise, if you want to find the works I do online, playwithphotography.com. I do toy photography. I write about photography related things in the field of how it applies to toys. I support that through Patreon, patreon.com/playwithphotos. And I also have an Amazon wish list. Christmas is coming up. If you want to do something nice for me for the holidays, that's at tfradio.net/chrislist. I do, toward the bottom of that list, have a bevy of old TV shows that I remember enjoying from my youth, and I know at least Perfect Strangers holds up. So I'd be happy to own physical copies of as much of that as I can. But there's a little variety of stuff on there. So if you're so inclined, that's out there too.
I should have finished the GIF. Looking at the GIF I just put in the chat before I hit send. So. Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah. I might have to suspend you for 24 hours for that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Rob.
Okay, I can be found on Twitter for probably as long as it lasts at Rob Flails. That's the Twitter for Flail Throughs, my YouTube channel, which is right now still Gundam Battle Operation 2. Today's video was of the Unicorn Gundam with a clip from the Headmaster's dub at the beginning of it and the appropriate color scheme applied to the Gundam. Because why not? This is, brain was firing randomly the last few weeks, so, went for it finally. If you like what you see over there, patreon.com/flailthroughs, you can give me a couple of bucks a month and I will take requests. The requests will probably come out slowly. I apologize for that, but I keep a list. I will not forget. And if you have any desire to just send me something, and it will also benefit the show in general, since it's an affiliate link, tfradio.net/claylist.
Cool. I guess that's it. Diecast, did you go?
Yeah, he did.
Okay. Okay, that's it then. We'll see you next week. Have a good one.
Bye, everybody.
Cool. Okay. Stop recording.
Recording stopped.
Stop recording.
Do you need my recording?
Nope. You did great. You did good. I want people watching live. I want to kill the stream because I gotta go to bed. I'm tired. The other guys are
I'm going to bed
right now.
So we're gonna see you later.
Yeah,
Have a good
definitely.
one.
Bye, everybody. Bye, you
people.
guys. Later.
Take care, y'all.